Today, after a long time, I've come back to you with the story of an Iranian movie. By now, most of you know how realistic Iranian films can be. But today's story has two aspects. First, this story will leave a very important message for everyone watching, from the young to the old. And second, every part of this story is true. That is, the entire story is based on a true event. I can promise you this much. I don't know if the story will change your life, but it will certainly make you more cautious. So, without further ado, let's get into the main story of the movie. The story begins here. The movie starts with a title card stating that the entire film is based on a true story. It's late at night. A girl is walking down a city street while chatting on her phone. Someone from the other end asked, "Nagin, have you arrived?" The girl named Nagin replies, "Yes, I've arrived." Suddenly, a car blaring loud music pulls up beside her. Nagin approaches the car window. The boy inside says, "You finally made it." Nagin asks, "What do you mean? I came right away." The boy smiled and said, "Get in the car." Nagin then asked, "Why did you smile?" pretending to be upset. The boy gets out of the car and tries to soothe her. Then Nagin smiles and says, "Okay, that's better," and gets into the car. Late at night, the two of them were sitting in the car, talking and drinking tea. The boy's name was Farid. Nagin asked Farid, "So, how far did you study? University?" Farid replies, "No, forget university. I couldn't even make it through high school." Nagin says scornfully, "That's why you don't understand a lot of what I say." Farid asks, "Can't you be educated without going to university? Do they have to be called uneducated?" Nagin replies, "It's not like that, but that's why you won't understand my pain. My parents have made my life miserable. They want me to study at a good public university. It's just studying all day, but I'm a person too." Then Farid tells her, "If you don't get into a public university, you can study at a private one. What's the problem?" Nagin laughs condescendingly and says, "I'm not some rich kid. My family isn't that wealthy. We only have one option, government-funded education. But today I'm so happy. Today I'm completely free. I'm leaving with you. My parents will never be able to pressure me to study again. From now on, I will enjoy my life freely." Meanwhile, Farid is busy chatting with someone on his phone. Nagin says, "You're not paying any attention to me." Farid replies, "I'm listening." But just then, Nagin notices in the looking glass that a car has stopped right behind them. She becomes very worried. Nagin asks, "Who are they?" Farid replies, "Don't worry, I know them." Nagin says, "It's late at night. No one should be coming here. What's going on?" Farid says, "You stay in the car. I'll go talk to them." He gets out, but Nagin is terrified. Her throat is completely dry. Farid is talking to someone in the car behind them. Nagin slowly starts to understand the situation. The man in the other car is wearing a mask. Just then, Nagin gets out of the car and tries to run, but immediately she feels dizzy and falls to the ground. The teacup lies beside her. The scene changes. The story shifts to another family. A mother is taking her children to school. The older daughter, Nida, tells her mother, "Mom, park the car here. Don't come to the front of my school." The mother replies, "Let me drive." Nida insists. The mother then brakes hard and asks, "What is it that you want?" Nida says, "Why are you fighting with me?" The mother replies, "I'm not fighting with you. I'm trying to be comfortable with you." Nida says, "I'm comfortable when you let me be." The mother says, "Listening to you, it sounds like we've kept you captive." Nida replies, "It doesn't just sound like it. I'm sure of it." Then Nida's younger sister shouts, "Please stop fighting." Nida gets out of the car and starts walking towards the school. But her mother hasn't left yet, so she angrily gestures for her to go. The school bell rings. Everyone is standing in the assembly line. The headmistress is addressing everyone. She says, "Last year, Nida and Razia from our school went to the Math Olympiad finals, but unfortunately, they couldn't win. In just a few days, the Math Olympiad will be held again. I want all of you to participate." Then a girl from the end of the line raises her hand. This girl's name is Masha. She asks, "Ma'am, is participation mandatory?" The teacher replies, "No, but through it you can test your skills." Now, I have good news for the 11th grade students. If any of you place first in this competition and win a gold medal, you won't have to take the university entrance exam. You'll get direct admission. And now for some bad news. Then the girl, Masha, spoke up again. "Ma'am, can't you give the bad news at the end of the day?" Masha's best friend, Maryam, standing in front of her, also says, "Ma'am, please give it after school ends." The headmistress gets a bit angry. She says, "You two, come here, I will explain everything to you." Masha says, "Sorry." The headmistress then begins. "If any of you try to cheat on this exam, there will be severe punishment for you." Then Masha again speaks up from the back. "Madam, what if we don't get caught?" The teacher is now getting annoyed. She says, "Meet me after the assembly. I will explain everything to you." Masha, now scared, apologizes to the teacher. The scene shifts to the classroom. Masha and Maryam, the two best friends, are bossing everyone around. When the teacher comes, you'll say you didn't do your homework today and that it was very difficult. These two friends are kind of like bullies. The other girls in the class are somewhat afraid of them. They ask, "Did anyone bring their homework?" Razia raises her hand. Then the two friends then say, "Keep it in your bag. No need to tell the teacher." They're intimidating the other students so that no one goes against their word. Meanwhile, their friend standing at the door signals that the teacher is coming. Everyone quickly goes and sits in their places. As soon as the teacher enters, everyone greets her. While erasing the board, the teacher says, "Take out your homework." Then from the back, everyone starts saying in unison, "Ma'am, the homework was very difficult. Please give us another week." Everyone is shouting. The teacher silences them. She asks Nida, "Nida, was the homework really difficult?" Nida is not afraid of anyone. She says, "No, ma'am, the homework wasn't difficult at all, and many in the class have done the homework." Masha, sitting a little away, threatens her in a low voice, "Shut your mouth now." The teacher, now in a very angry tone, asks everyone, "So, none of you really did the homework? If you haven't, then everyone take out your homework notebooks." This time, breaking her fear, Razia raises her hand first. She calls the teacher and says, "Ma'am, I have done the homework." After that, many others raise their hands one by one. Masha realizes they've been caught, and the teacher also understands who was behind this. She addresses Masha and Maryam. "So, the homework was difficult only for you two, and that was expected." Masha and Maryam feel very ashamed.
The teacher was writing a math problem on the board. Then she says, "Who can solve this?" Both Razia and Nida raise their hands. The teacher calls Nida. Nida was solving the math on the board. Everyone is looking at the board. The math has finished. The teacher tells everyone to clap. And then she says, "There's a mistake in this math. Can anyone solve it?" Razia raises a hand. The teacher calls her. And Razia comes and starts solving the math again. The teacher says, "Now it's correct." Nida also says, "I understand. I made a mistake with the minus sign." The teacher again tells everyone to clap. During the lunch break after class, Nida was sitting quietly. Then Razia comes with 2 cakes in her hand, one for herself and one for Nida. Nida says, "I'm not hungry." Razia says, "I brought this for you." Nida takes the cake but remains lost in thought. Razia asks Nida, "Let me ask you a question. Everyone is so afraid of math. How are you so good at it?" Nida says, "I'm also afraid of math, but I have nothing else to do at home, so I'm forced to study, and I don't like studying at all." Razia asks, "Then what do you like?" Nida says, "To sleep. I wish I could bring a pillow here and go to sleep." Razia laughs. Nida tells Razia, "Your bracelet is very beautiful." Razia immediately takes the bracelet off her wrist and puts it on Nida's. Nida says, "There's no need for this." Razia says, "I have another one just like it. This is yours from now on." Nida and Razia were returning to class when Masha called from behind. She starts arguing with them about the incident in class today. Words lead to a scuffle, and in a moment the scuffle turns into a full-blown fight. The headmistress is called. The scene changes. Nida, Masha and Maryam are all standing in front of the headmistress. The headmistress is scolding Masha and Maryam a lot. Masha keeps saying sorry. Then the headmistress says, I'm separating the two of you into different schools. Complaints come in your names every week. Masha pleads earnestly. Then Nida speaks up from the side. Ma'am, it was my fault. I was the one who made fun of them about the physics homework. The teacher understands the whole situation, but she doesn't say anything. And then the scene shifts to the classroom. The math teacher announces, exam next week. Then Masha and Maryam look at Nida and give a slight smile. And we understand that their enmity has now turned into friendship. That day after school, the three of them leave together. Masha writes a number on a piece of paper and gives it to Nida, saying, text me when you get home, I'll add you to our group. Nida is happy. Meanwhile, Nida's mother's car pulls up behind them. Masha and Maryam also notice it. Nida then walks to the car. As soon as she gets there, she starts yelling at her mother. How many times have I told you not to come here? To stop at the end of this road. The mother first greets Nida. Nida also replies to the greeting. The mother says in a low voice, should I go and stand at the end of this road now? Nida says, no need, wait here. As Nida starts to walk away, her mother asks, where are you going? Nida again tells her mother angrily, I'm going to the supermarket. Are you going to follow me there too? Saying this, Nida leaves. Nida goes into a shop and says, give me my phone, it's under the name Nida. Nida hands over a cake packet and says, I didn't bring any money today, keep this, I'll pay tomorrow and take it. The boy at the shop says shyly, you don't need to pay, you can just take it. But Nida leaves without saying anything. Then a girl standing nearby asks, how much is mine? The shopkeeper boy tells her rudely, yours is 1,000 Thomases. From here, the scene shifts to the dinner table at Nida's house. Nida's mother is preparing dinner for everyone. Nida's father was working nearby. Both of Nida's parents are doctors. Nida's younger sister then calls her father and says, Dad, I want to go to Fariba's house tomorrow. The father asks, who is Fariba? Nida then says, she's her friend. The father comes to the dinner table and asks what Fariba's father does. The innocent child says a truck driver. Now the mother asks where their house is. The child thinks and names the area. The mother further asks, what will you do there? Nida's younger sister says, Mom, we will have a group study. The mother says, why? Are you having problems with your studies? The little girl says no. The father says, then that's settled. You don't need to go. And you're still a child. If you went to the hospital with me, you would understand what kids can do these days. The trouble they can get into. The little girl pleads. Nida quietens her down. Meanwhile, a message comes to Nida's phone. The father notices. He tells Nida's mother with a hint of sarcasm. Our Nida has found new friends. Nida says, Dad, it's not like that. You've left my little sister and started interrogating me now. Do I have to be accountable to you now? The mother says, Nida, why do you always think that? When you get a little older, you'll understand why we've been strict with you since you were little. It's for your own good. Nida says, Mom, I'm 18. When will I understand? I understand right now. Meanwhile, the father's phone rings. He apologizes to everyone and gets up from there. Nida consoles her little sister. Don't be upset. Both my parents are doctors, so they think whatever they say is right. The scene changes. The next day, Nida was going to school again with her mother and younger sister. Nida tells her mother, Mom, there's an extra physics class after school today. I'll be out of school at 4. The mother says, you're good at physics, so what's the need for extra class? Nida says, I need it. The mother says, okay, I'll be in front of the school at 4. Nida looks out the window and smiles faintly. This was actually Nida's plan. School and
From here, the scene shifts to the exam hall the next day. The exam is about to start in a few moments. Nida signals to Masha and Maryam that everything is okay. After distributing the exam papers, the madam announces, your time starts now. You have 1 hour. Everyone gets busy answering. Only Masha and Maryam are quietly passing the time. On the other hand, Nida is writing the answers very thoughtfully. She is very worried. Meanwhile, time is passing. About 40 minutes have passed. Nida signals to Maryam. The madam was walking around the exam hall. Then Maryam stands up and says, Ma'am, I'm going to submit my paper. She comes to Nida's side and swaps the papers. And she goes to the desk, writes her name, and submits it. Maryam is very happy inside. She has never had such a good exam. She goes outside and breathes a sigh of relief. But Masha's exam is still left. She hasn't written anything on her paper, and time is running out. Nida signals to her several times. Masha tries once, but just then, the madam gives a warning. Keep your eyes on your own papers. Masha doesn't know how she'll deceive the teacher. And just then, we see Maryam enter the room again. She starts requesting the madam. Ma'am, I couldn't answer the last question. Please give me a chance. Nida smiles. She understands this is Maryam's plan. Masha is also happy. She immediately gets up, swaps the papers, and submits it. But we realize Masha didn't write her name. Meanwhile, the madam announces that there are only 8 minutes left. Nida is working fast. Within a few moments, the bell rings, and Nida also answers her last question. Nida is also happy. The scene changes. Outside, the three of them are worried. They are planning what to do because Masha didn't write her name, and Nida couldn't write her name either. Nida says, "We'll get caught this way." The exact same answers on 2 papers, and both papers have no names written on them. The teacher will easily figure out that we cheated. Everyone starts looking for a solution. Meanwhile, that girl named Razia comes. She comes and asks Nida, "Why were you so late in finishing your exam today? You always submit your paper first. Today I saw you writing until the very last moment." Nida says, "Oh, it's nothing. I was thinking through the answers." Meanwhile, Masha nudges her and says, "Why are you so worried about Nida?" Razia says, "Just because. I was wondering if there was a problem." Razia greets them and leaves. Meanwhile, everyone's eyes fall on the headmistress. She is also looking at Nida and Masha suspiciously. And then Nida remembers the words the headmistress said this morning. If anyone is caught cheating, there will be severe punishment. On the other hand, she also remembers her parents. They trusted her and gave her a phone after so many years. They let her be independent. That freedom will also be gone. Nida immediately tells Masha and Maryam, "Somehow I have to go to the headmistress's room." Masha and Maryam say, "Are you crazy? It's better to fail the exam than to go to the police." Nida says, "Are you scared?" You remember, Maryam had said the same thing. But today, Nida's taunt has no effect. Maryam will not go under any circumstances. Meanwhile, Nida's parents both understand that something is going on. The father asks again. Nida gets angry. Then the father gets angry. "Why did you bring your phone to the dinner table?" Nida says, "Am I the only one who brings it? You bring it too. You're on the phone 24/7. The father and daughter start arguing. The mother tries to stop them. The little sister also wants to get up in fear. The mother makes her sit down. Meanwhile, in the chat, Maryam says, "Nida, forget about this matter. Whatever happens, will happen." Nida becomes very sad. She gets up and leaves. The rest of the family members also become very sad. They also get up quietly, one by one. Nida comes to her room and lies down with her head down. Just then, a message comes to their group. Masha tells Nida, "I am so sorry. I understand your problem and I am willing to go with you. But please don't tell Maryam anything. Give me the address." Nida's heart also becomes happy. From the other end, Masha says, "I'll be there in an hour. You wait for me in front of that house." Meanwhile, Nida's younger sister comes to Nida to do homework. And in the next scene, we see Nida quietly leaving the house. She takes a taxi to the teacher's house according to that address. It's pitch dark all around. She is looking around, but she still hasn't seen Masha. But just then, we see a shadowy figure pass behind her. And when Nida looks in that direction, a man in a mask is standing in front of her. Nida gets scared. She tries to go back. Then we see another person with a knife behind her. The scene shifts to a horse stable. A few boys were sitting and chatting, and at the same time, they were watching a football match. Among these boys is the same boy we saw at the very beginning of the movie, Farid. You still haven't found any connection to the story that happened with Farid and Nagin. Gradually, everything will become clear to you. Here, everyone was basically gambling. They had bet on a football match, and they won it. After this, these boys come to meet a gangster named Halil, and this long-faced boy's name is Nadir. He's explaining to
And in the next scene, another twist. You must have recognized this boy. That boy from the shop next to Nida's school, where everyone comes to leave their mobile phones. This boy's name is Hamid. He is Nadir's younger brother. He brings food from outside. But Hamid is very sad. And on the other hand, Nadir is busy gambling. That boy named Farid asked Nadir, "How much money have you bet on this game?" Nadir initially says nothing. He was watching the tiebreaker and was saying, yes, but the next moment he loses the game. Farid asks, "How much money did you lose?" Nadir says, "All of it, 20 million Thomas." Farid gets very angry. He says, "How will we repay this money to Khalil?" A fight starts between the two. And in the next scene we see, Khalil has come to Nadir to get his money back. Nadir is explaining to him, the website has closed down. I had won the match, but Khalil is not ready to listen to so many excuses. He wants his money with interest. Khalil understands that Nadir has frauded him. He and his men beat Nadir severely, and they give him a week's time and leave. Injured Nadir calls Farid and asks, is your date to meet that girl fixed? Arrange to meet tonight. And from here the movie scene shifts to the beginning scene of the movie. Farid had lured Nigin into a love trap online and brought her that day. Nadir asks Farid, did the girl drink the tea? Farid says yes, she will be unconscious in a few moments. They both get out of the car, and when Nigin gets out of the car to escape, she sees everything blurry, and she falls to the ground, which we saw at the beginning of the movie. And from here the scene shifts to a stable in a remote area. We see Nadir. Farid comes to him and informs him that Nigin's father has deposited the money. Now what should I do with it? Should I deposit it directly into Khalil's account? Nadir says no need. Farid asks, what are you going to do? Are you going to gamble with that money again? Nadir says, what else is there to do? If we give all the money to Khalil, what will be left for us? It's better to double the money. Farid gets very angry. He says, one day you will die because of this gambling and greed. Farid leaves from there. From here the scene shifts to that shop. Masha and Maryam are going to deposit their phones, so they unlock the phone while sitting in front of the shop, which Nadir, Hamid's older brother, was watching on the CCTV camera. Masha and Maryam deposit their phones and leave. And after everyone leaves, Nadir starts checking the CCTV footage. Masha had unlocked her phone while sitting in front of the shop. He sees that pattern. From behind, Hamid keeps asking, what are you looking at? Then Nadir says, which one is that girl's phone? He goes towards the desk. Hamid tries hard to stop him, but to no avail. Nadir takes out the phone and unlocks it. Hamid keeps telling his older brother, this is my business, you can't do this. You have become so crazy from gambling that you're forgetting all your sense of right and wrong. Nadir silences his younger brother with his scolding, and after unlocking the phone, he starts installing Masha's WhatsApp on his phone. He transfers all the WhatsApp data to his phone. Hamid tries his best to stop his older brother, but in the end it's of no use. And from here the story shifts to that stable in the remote area. We see Nadir. Farid comes to him and informs him that Nigin's father has deposited the money. Now what should I do with it? Should I deposit it directly into Khalil's account? Nadir says no need. Farid asks, what are you going to do? Are you going to gamble with that money again? Nadir says, what else is there to do? If we give all the money to Khalil, what will be left for us? It's better to double the money. Farid gets very angry. He says, one day you will die because of this gambling. Farid leaves from there. From here the scene shifts to that shop the next day. Masha has come to deposit her phone today, but Hamid directly informs her that he no longer takes phone deposits. Masha asks, why? Hamid says the shop owner found out. Masha says, how would the shop owner know? Are you hiding something from me? By the way, have you seen that the police came to our school? Hamid says, I saw, but what's that to me? Hamid's words make Masha a little suspicious, but she doesn't say anything that day. After returning home, Masha thinks a lot about this matter. She returns to her room and also messages Nida on WhatsApp. On the other hand, Nadir was going somewhere else with Nida. Messages were repeatedly coming on WhatsApp. Nadir stops the car and he shouts at Nida for the password. Nida is scared. When Nadir forces him, Nida tells him her phone's password. Nadir deletes all the messages. Masha can't understand what is actually happening. She can see Nida online. The next moment she also calls Nida, but by then the phone has been turned off. The next day when Masha goes to class, Nida's chair was still empty. She asks Maryam, I saw Nida online on WhatsApp. Did she send you any message? Maryam says no. After school, Nida was sitting in one place thinking about everything. She goes to Hamid's shop again and starts questioning him again. She also tells Hamid, I am going to the police. Then Hamid scares her. He says, I have all the personal pictures from your gallery. And there are many other sensitive things as well. And let me also tell you, the last person to talk to Nida on WhatsApp was you. If you tell the police anything, I will frame you. Masha becomes worried. The scene changes. At night we hear the siren of a police car. Masha was standing on the balcony thinking. Just then her mother comes to call her. Masha says, Mom, I won't eat now. Please leave me alone. Masha's mother says, the police have come. They want to talk to you. Masha's eyes widen.
And from here, the story goes back a bit. The day Nida left the house, she had told her sister everything, and her younger sister also knew that Nida was actually going to meet Masha. Nida had asked for her sister's help to keep their mother busy for an hour, and she would return within an hour after finishing her work. That day, her sister had listened to her, and Nida had quietly left the house. Meanwhile, Nida's father is still searching for his daughter. He has come to Maryam's house to see if any information can be found, but Maryam says she knows nothing. Meanwhile, a message comes to Nida's father's phone. He opens the message. It's a video, which silences the father in an instant, and he understands that Nida has been kidnapped. And what a father's condition can be at this time, only that father knows. And this is a completely true story, where every moment is true. At home, Nida's mother and younger sister are still very worried. The father quietly enters the house and sits on a chair. Nida's mother comes and sits beside him. The father just hands her his phone. Nida's mother also sees the video. Tears are just streaming from her eyes. Then the younger sister comes and stands in front and says, "I have something to say. I know where Nida went that night." The scene shifts to below Masha's house. That police officer has arrived. She tells Masha, "You must remember I had asked you about Nida. I went to your school." Masha nods slightly. The officer informs her, "Now I have several other things to talk to you about." The next scene shifts to inside Masha's house. The police officer is asking Masha some questions. "Where is your father?" Masha says, crying, "My parents got a divorce a long time ago. I live with my mother." The officer asks, "Does your mother know that your friend Nida has been missing for a few days?" Masha says no. The officer says, "The last conversation before Nida went missing was with you, but you hid everything from me that day. Do you know how much danger your friend is in now? Look, now tell me everything. You have nothing to fear. Tell me everything you know." The scene shifts to that shop. The police have come here to inquire about Hamed. The shop owner was there then. And he says Hamed doesn't do night duty. The police take his biodata. They also take Hamed's home location. And in the next scene, we see a full SWAT team preparing and setting out. They have made all kinds of preparations. They are going to find Hamed. And everything was being monitored from the police headquarters. A police officer informs his superior, "Sir, we have received some videos. A few days before this, a girl named Negan went missing. Her kidnappers are the same. And this recording was made by Negan's father when he was having a conversation with the kidnapper. Negan's father had given 50 million tomases to the kidnappers, but that wasn't enough for them. They demanded another 50 million tomases. Then there was a lot of argument between the kidnapper and Negan's father. Negan's father keeps saying, 'I have given whatever you ask for. Now please release my daughter.' The kidnappers do not agree in any way. Negan's father says, 'If I give another 50 million, what guarantee is there that you will release my daughter?' He pleads a lot, but to no avail. The kidnappers get very angry, and we know the kidnapper is Nader. He gets up and puts a pistol to Negan's head. The senior police officer was watching this video until now. He asks his staff, "When was this reported?" The staff says, "Today." The officer asks, "Why wasn't it done earlier?" That staff says Negan's parents were very scared. The officer sighs and says, "It's too late." After that, the staff explains to the police officer where Negan's position might be now. He has figured out many things: the hacked WhatsApp group, the kidnapper's phone location. Putting everything together, they have identified a possible location. A SWAT team has already gone there. Then the police officer says the address could also be fake and the real location could be nearby. And have you checked how many horse stables there are in the city? Let me know within an hour. Saying this, the police officer quickly leaves. On the other hand, the SWAT team has reached the location. They are very quietly and slowly surrounding the entire area. The dogs around them are barking at them, but the SWAT team is moving forward silently. But the red light of the police car wakes him up. He sees through the window that the entire area is surrounded by police. He has nothing left to understand.
And from here, the scene shifts to the next morning. Nida is lying on the floor of an old house, and beside her, Hamid is sitting quietly. Nida's eyes are slowly opening. She looks around and sees Hamid beside her. Nida quietly sits up. Hamid calmly says, "This is my father's house. I have wanted to come here for a long time. I will take you far away from here, where there will be only you and me. And to your family, you are now dead." Nida says, "I don't understand the meaning of your words." Hamid says, in a broken voice, "I love you. Will you go with me?" Nida says, crying, "If you hadn't helped, I might not have been alive now. "Thank you. I will go with you. But will you untie my hands?" Hamid happily unties Nida's hands, and just then, there was a tea kettle near Nida's hand. She hits Hamid on the head with it. Hamid immediately falls to the floor. Nida runs to get out of the house, but the main door is locked. She looks around for the key. After searching for a while, she finds the key. But just before opening the door, Hamid gets up. He fires a shot next to the door. Nida is trembling with fear and says, "Please give me another chance." Hamid says, "No, I knew you would do this. I will kill you first, then I will kill myself." Nida pleads, "Please give me one last chance." Then, Hamid notices a green laser beam on his neck, and we see that the SWAT team has surrounded the place. In a moment, the police enter the house. Hamid is caught. That female police officer also enters the house. She safely brings Nida out of the house. Nida is made to sit in the car waiting outside. Another police officer comes and returns that bracelet to Nida. A smile appears on Nida's face. On the other hand, Hamid is being blindfolded and put into a car. The two cars go in opposite directions. Nida is free after 4 days of captivity. And the next morning, Nida returns to her normal life. She sets off for school with her friends. Meanwhile, Nida's father is saying on the phone, "I've taken a day off tomorrow. I'm going to take the girls out. From now on, at least 1 day a week will be for my daughters." On the other hand, Nida's younger sister has left for school. She happily comes and sits beside her mother. And Nida, after almost a week, entered through the school gate. She's looking around in awe. From a distance, Razia sees her and runs towards her and comes and hugs her. And with this scene, the movie ends here. I don't know how you felt about this true story. I found it very inspiring. The movie is very perfect for the current times. And why wouldn't it be? The incident didn't happen too long ago. Those kidnappers are still in jail, and Nida is still studying. This movie has given us many messages for both parents and children. Look, when we children become 10, 12, 15 years old, we think we are very grown up. We think we have understood all the realities of the world. Our parents' words seem bitter to us, just like they did to Nida. It feels like our parents are dominating us, keeping us captive. But the reality is, our parents have passed through our age. They know what we can do at this age, what can happen to us. And secondly, every parent should give time to their child. The more a friendly relationship can be built with the child, the more the distance decreases. And the last thing is, choosing friends is very important. Her friends were largely responsible for Nida's situation. Nida went to enjoy freedom, and you know what the result was. And lastly, I will say one thing. Look, no one will be closer to you than your family. Your friends may have come to entertain you for a temporary period of your life. They give you fun, so maybe you like spending time with them. But the truth is, in all the difficult moments of your life, you will only find your family by your side. And maybe one or two